undesirable private residence in an area of outstanding natural property device.
Hi, everyone. Before the world laughed with her, Dame Patricia Routledge was living a life very few people ever truly understood. She was one of the most recognizable faces on television, yet she disappeared the moment the cameras stopped rolling. No husband, no children, no public confessions, just silence. For years, that silence created rumors, painful ones, about loneliness, regret, and why she walked away at the height of fame. Many believed she was hiding something. Others thought she was forgotten. Then she passed away, and suddenly the truth began to surface. What her family revealed after her death changed everything people thought they knew about her final years, and it's far more emotional than anyone expected. For audiences around the world, Dame Patricia Routledge became unforgettable through Keeping Up Appearances, where her portrayal of Hyacinth Bucket, or Bouquet as she insisted, turned her into a global icon. The character's delusions of grandeur, social climbing, and unshakable confidence made her one of television's most memorable figures. But while millions laughed, few ever truly knew the woman behind the performance. Away from the cameras, Patricia's life looked nothing like the exaggerated world she played on screen. And long after the sitcom ended, questions lingered about her career choices, her personal life, and the silence she maintained until her final days. Born in 1929 in Tranmere, Birkenhead, Cheshire, Patricia came from a modest working-class family with no connection to the arts. Acting was not considered a sensible career, especially for a young woman without money or influence. Her father, Isaac Edgar Routledge, was a tailor and haberdasher who worked hard to support his family. Her mother, Catherine Routledge, was a homemaker who quietly encouraged Patricia's love of reading, language, and storytelling. That encouragement planted a seed that would grow into something extraordinary, even though no one around her could have imagined where it would lead. Patricia attended Birkenhead High School, where her academic talents stood out. She later studied English at the University of Liverpool, and it was there, through student drama productions, that she began to perform seriously. These early performances were not glamorous, but they were formative. She learned discipline, control, and how to command attention without spectacle. With no industry connections and no financial safety net, she relied on scholarships and determination to earn a place at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. The training was demanding, and many of her peers came from far more privileged backgrounds, but Patricia met them with preparation and focus. After graduating, work did not come easily for Patricia Routledge. She spent years in repertory theater and touring companies, taking any role available. The seasons were exhausting and recognition scarce, but night after night, she built her craft, mastering comedy, drama, musical timing, and stage presence through live performance. Entering a male-dominated industry in the 1950s and 1960s, women who didn't fit narrow standards of glamour were often overlooked. Patricia refused to be boxed in, and that determination earned her respect. Her work with the Royal Shakespeare Company proved her range, while television appearances showed her adaptability, even when TV was considered inferior to theater. In 1968, she achieved international recognition by winning a Tony Award for Darling of the Day. True household fame arrived in the early 1990s with Keeping Up Appearances, where Hyacinth Bucket made her a global icon, though the role's expectations eventually became exhausting. Patricia had spent decades proving her versatility. She worried that the public and the industry would forget everything else she had done. While she enjoyed playing Hyacinth, she did not want the character to consume her entire career. During the show's run, she became known for questioning material she felt pushed the character too far into a caricature. She believed comedy worked best when it stayed grounded, and she was not afraid to challenge scenes that felt untrue. These discussions sometimes created tension, but they came from professionalism, not ego. Then, in 1995, at the height of the show's popularity, Dame Patricia Routledge made a decision that stunned fans and executives alike. She chose to walk away. There was no scandal, no behind-the-scenes collapse. It was a deliberate choice. Rumors spread quickly. Some claimed conflict, others suggested regret, but Patricia was clear. She believed the writing was beginning to recycle ideas, and she wanted to leave while the show was still loved. She admired performers like Ronnie Barker, who stepped away at their peak, leaving audiences wanting more rather than wondering why a show was still running. Behind that decision was a lifetime shaped by loss. Patricia's mother died in 1957, when Patricia was still struggling to establish herself. There was no emotional safety net, no familiar place to retreat when rejection hit. She kept working, even while grieving. Her father passed away in 1985, removing the last living connection to her childhood. Then, in 1989, her older brother, Kenneth Graham Routledge, died just before Keeping Up Appearances turned her into a global star. Kenneth, a former solicitor turned ordained priest, had been her source of advice and grounding. Losing him meant entering the most public phase of her life without the person who knew her best. These losses shaped her private nature. She learned early that grief does not pause the world. Work must continue, and curtains must still rise. Even at the height of her fame, she guarded her personal life with quiet strength. She gave audiences perfection on screen, then stepped away without explanation. When the applause ended, she returned to a life kept deliberately out of reach, one known only to those she trusted. Questions about her personal life followed her for decades. Dame Patricia Routledge never married and never had children, and she rarely explained why. She acknowledged it openly, but refused to make it a spectacle. If she had romantic relationships, she kept them entirely private. For her, acting was not something she balanced with life. It was her life. She once said she never made a conscious decision to avoid marriage or motherhood. Her commitment to her craft was simply total. Independence mattered to her, especially at a time when marriage often meant compromise for women. She had no regrets. After her death on October 3, 2025, at the age of 96, long-standing rumors resurfaced. Some claimed she lived a lonely, isolated life. Others suggested she had faded away, forgotten. These stories were false. Her agent confirmed she died peacefully in her sleep, surrounded by love. She remained socially engaged through charitable work, particularly with the Royal Voluntary Service, supporting community care and older people. She stayed connected to the theater world, attending performances and maintaining close relationships. Health rumors had followed her for years, but she never publicly disclosed illness. She aged privately and with dignity, just as she had lived. After her passing, it became clear that she had not withdrawn from life, only from the spotlight. She never made a formal retirement announcement. She simply stopped appearing on screen by choice. Her family confirmed she stepped away from television not because of illness or bitterness, but because she felt complete. She never lost her love for performance. She followed theater closely, spoke about productions with razor-sharp insight, and remained deeply passionate about storytelling until the very end. She didn't walk away from acting, she walked away from fame. And when asked whether she ever regretted leaving Keeping Up Appearances, her answer never changed. She respected the role, honored what Hyacinth Bucket gave her, but refused to let a single character define an entire lifetime of work. Dame Patricia Routledge lived exactly as she chose, quietly, independently, and on her own terms. Long after the laughter fades, her legacy endures. If this story moved you, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who loved British television, and subscribe for more powerful untold stories. Your support keeps these legacies alive. Thanks for watching.